I love books. I love being able to extract from them information and wisdom and inspiration. If you are following the SingWise Vocals page, then you probably know this already, because 2 to 3 times a week I post quotes. Now sometimes those quotes are kind of, focused on voice science and there's sort of geeky, nerdy kind of stuff, but most of the time I post them because I want them to inspire us and to challenge our thinking about our voices and how we use them. I'm often asked by students and readers about which books I would recommend them starting out with when they're building their own personal libraries. And so I thought I'd take a little bit of what I do on Facebook and bring it here on YouTube. So with this series, I'm going to share some of my favorite quotes with you that have transformed my own thinking and influenced my methodology, and then expound upon them. So my first quote comes from Cornelius Reed from his book, The Free Voice. The undeviating purpose of training is functional freedom, not, as is commonly believed, beauty of tone quality. An artist desires above all to communicate, and the benefit to be derived from a healthy coordinative response is that it provides absolute spontaneity of expression. With the attainment of functional freedom, the singer then becomes able to express what he has to say the way he wants to say it, not the way he has to. He has been released from the strictures imposed by tone consciousness. Functional freedom alone is able to fully release sensitivity, insight, emotional and intellectual depth, and musical perception. I love that quote. And if you watched my video last week in which I share my philosophy of function before fashion, now you'll get an idea of how transformative Cornelius Reed's writings have been in my own singing and teaching practice. So when I started reading Cornelius Reed's books, and just to let you know, they're out of print now, and if you're looking for them, you will probably have to find used copies, but they can be absolutely transformative. We have to be able to get to the point where our vocal instruments are operating so efficiently and so well, it's like a well-oiled machine, that we can then create any sound that we imagine. But unless we have that functional freedom, we are not going to be able to produce those sounds. We're always going to be somewhat limited. While I'm on this topic, I am going to share another quote. This one's from Richard Miller, and it really kind of reflects the same philosophy. And I suspect, but I don't know for a fact, that Richard Miller had read Cornelius Reed's books and also had found them very transformative and very influential in his own teaching. So here's what Richard Miller says in On the Art of Singing. He says, artistic nuance is dependent on the freedom of our singing instruments, not only on our imaginations. So basically he's saying the same kind of thing, that we can imagine the sound all we want. But if our instrument is not operating and coordinating the way that it needs to make those sounds, we are not going to be able to produce them. We are going to just basically feel like failures. So if we get our focus right, if we focus on first things first, then the rest will fall into place. I've had a few well-meaning individuals try to help me grow this channel, and it's been suggested that I should really just stick to recording videos on the most popular vocal topics so that I can take advantage of these top keywords in the Google searches. And while I do understand the importance of having an effective marketing strategy, and yes, I would love to have more viewers and more subscribers and have a greater reach, but at the end of the day, all I really want to do is teach. All I really want to do is teach, to share with you what I know about the voice and any wisdom that I might have to impart. And, I also just want you to see a little bit of who I am and to be able to show you what has influenced me so much in my own teaching and what has inspired me so much. And hopefully, at the end of the day, you'll also have a better idea of who I am, a better understanding of your own voice, and also maybe some books to line your own library shelves with. So I'm going to leave you today with one more quote from Richard Miller, also from On the Art of Singing. And Richard Miller writes, no amount of investigative study can unveil the psychological mysteries that lie behind the production of beautiful timbre and the accomplishment of artistic communication. However, unless the physical instrument can freely function, artistry will suffer built-in limitations. So go and free up your vocal instrument so that you can make the kinds of sounds that you imagine.